All right, hello everybody. Thank you for coming back for our next Tech Talk. My name is Matt Rebusik. I'm the IT director at the Bucks County Free Library. With me are Pete and Zach. They are helping run everything, make sure everything works well. For those who didn't come that last month, this will be an ongoing series of talks based around subjects that the patrons choose. We will send out an email every quarter with a survey to let you pick what you think would be interesting, what you would like to learn more about. Today's talk is on internet and social media safety, and next month's, which is June 21st at 2 p.m., will be on iPhone and iPad basics. Let's see. So as well as Zoom, we are going to be expanding this to have a viewing party at each branch. So if you live closer to Bensalem or Quakertown, Percy, every branch will be on the projector displaying the Tech Talk. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that for everybody on Zoom. I'll rewind a little bit. So my name is Matt Rebusik, IT Director at Bucks County Free Library. We are running a series of Tech Talks monthly based on subjects chosen by patrons. This month is internet and social media safety. These sessions will be recorded. They will be up on the Bucks County Free Library YouTube channel about a week after each session runs, so we can edit it and make sure it sounds good and everything. If you have questions, those on Zoom, we will be opening up the email at the halfway point. At that point, you can email us any of your questions. We'll take a look and add them in. And for anybody here, if you have any questions, raise your hand. Pete will come around. Anybody at our satellite branches, raise your hand, and the moderator will come around and get your questions and email us. Let's see. So one final thing, these are meant to be a basic understanding of certain things for each talk. So for this one, we'll be going over passwords and how to secure yourself on Facebook and like platforms. If you have specific problems that you need help being walked through, the library does have professional librarians who are happy to help you. You can get started at buckslib.org/livehelp, and they will be happy to assist you with whatever specific problem you're having. All right, so that is my whole beginning spiel. Let's get started. So today we're talking about internet and social media, being safe on them, and learning how to find the difficulties, the places where people are trying to get your information, where they're trying to get your money. We'll start today with passwords. So having a secure password is probably the most important step in making sure that your accounts are secure and that nobody's getting into them besides you. So how do you create a strong password? This is a pretty good method. You want to have your passwords generally 8 characters is the minimum anymore. 10, 12 is usually preferable. You can go longer on most sites if you want to. So if the site allows it, you can go up to 16, 20 characters. Now, some of you are thinking, how would I remember a 20 character password? So with these steps here, you can easily remember any password that you so choose. For in this example, I love to sail. You want to make sure that your passwords don't have identifiable information. So don't use birthdays, don't use your kids' names, things like that. Use general statements about things you like that are not personally identifiable to you. So you pick out a phrase that works for you. I love to sail. Capitalize each first letter, and then remove the spaces, and then put a few numbers in, like an L can become a 1, an E can become a 3, and then add a special character or two, like an exclamation point at the end. That generally makes a secure password. This is considered more secure than a random password because it's something that you can remember easily. You don't need to write it down. You don't need to save it anywhere. If it's in your head and nobody else knows it, then it's going to be much harder for people to guess. Let's see. So the current methodology for using passwords is to use a password manager. A password manager is a secure site that will save your passwords and allow you to recall them when you need them. They have separate ones like NordPass and Bitwarden. These are apps that you can use on your phone or on your computer. It will save your passwords. I know Bitwarden will be added as an extension in your browser. That can be a little bit more daunting for some people. I prefer Firefox myself for browsing and for saving my passwords. So for something like this, within Firefox, we have our password manager. So in here, you can see any password that you have saved. I have my Firefox password and my Facebook password. These are not my actual passwords, so don't worry about that. Any password that any site that you visit, as long as you have password saving turned on in Firefox, which it is by default, any site that you visit and log into, it will offer to save it for you. You can then hit yes, and it will put it into this secure location to allow you to use it later. Once it is in that password manager, anytime you visit that site, even if the site logs you out, you'll be able to instantly log yourself back in by selecting by clicking on the login. It will show the available logins for that page. So for example, I did set up a Facebook account for this. So if we log into Facebook, when I click on the username, I have saved logins, and it shows me what email I used. And by clicking on that, it will automatically put the password in. No need to remember anything, which is good because I made this password. I allowed Firefox to make this password, and this password looks like this. So nothing you're going to be able to remember, nothing anybody's going to be able to guess, but it's secure in your password manager. You don't have to remember it. It provides it automatically for you. And I'll show you a little bit how that works. So I tested this one earlier. So say you want Shake Shack, which I've never actually been to. We'll go into this little pop-up later, allow to access your location. For now, we are going to try and make an account. Oh, of course it's not working. Let's try again. Okay, well, it worked when I tested it. It's not working now. When you're creating an account on a site, after you put your email in, it will offer you a password. It's a secure, very random password. I allow it to pick whatever it wants and save it in my password list. One of the good things about that is you will also always have it when you go to your phone, as long as you use the same app on your phone. So on my phone, I open Firefox. It uses Face ID to verify that it's me. And then when I go to passwords, now I have access to my Facebook password, and I can reveal it or save it, copy it to put it into an app. The programs like Bitwarden, you will have an app for that on your phone, and when you open up like Facebook, it will automatically suggest your password that you have saved for it. It makes it a lot easier using a password manager. And it's also more secure because there's only one point of failure versus having the same password for multiple sites. Whereas if something gets hacked, they get your password. Now they have your password for every site and the email that it's tied to. So I highly recommend using a password manager. You no need to remember passwords anymore. Next, we'll move on to scamming. A lot of affects almost everybody anymore. I'm sure you've gotten calls about your insurance, about Medicare, about your car's warranty. Everybody's getting them now. How do you be careful for that? As far as calls go, a lot of Google and Apple now have the maybe scam title on their whenever you get an incoming call. Pay attention to that. Usually it's pretty accurate. If the user is not saved into your contact list, just don't answer the call. There's no harm in that. If it's a cell phone, you also have the option to click messages and say, can I call you later? If it's somebody who is using a cell phone, they'll get a text message and they can respond. For emails, one of the biggest problems today is a scam called phishing. What people will do is they will send a fake email to you pretending to be somebody that you know or a institution that you know, your bank, your credit card, UPS, any one of those, and attempt to trick you into giving your information. As you can see in the example here, the from address will generally have something you recognize, Bank of America, something like that. You can click on the email address without any worry. So once you open up the email, you are suspicious of it, click on the email address and it will show you the actual email that it's coming from. If you have something like in the example where it says @gmail.com, a large company generally will not use a Gmail address. So you can safely assume that that is a spam email. They will always have something that is provides a sense of urgency to you. So in this one, it says action required. It makes you want to go in, take care of something. There will always be a link in there to a site that is meant to collect your username and password and allow them to access the real account as you. Sometimes there will be an attachment as on the bottom there. Never double click any attachments on suspicious emails. If you are wary of an email but not sure, the information will be in the email, so you can always check yourself. So if it's from your bank, go onto the internet by yourself, don't click the link, go to your bank's website, log in, see if there's an issue, see if there's something that needs your attention. Don't trust the emails that come to you. Verify for yourself. And the less trusting you are of random things that come into your mailbox, the more secure you'll be. All right. So one of the other, so say you have already clicked on a suspicious email and you're not sure if maybe you're in the right space, maybe you're not. In the address bar, so we're on Facebook here, we've logged in. In the address bar, you have this lock. The lock will prove that this is the actual website that you are meaning to log into. If you click on it, it will show you that it's a secure connection to facebook.com. Generally, a scam website will have a lock with a line through it, meaning that it's not secure. You're probably not at the right place, the place that you expect to be. So that's always pay attention to that when you're doing anything that requires security, banking, social media, that kind of thing. Let's see. One of the other things that gets a lot of people is this. These are notifications. Often you'll be using your computer and you will have a pop-up that says, you have 1 million viruses, click here to solve it. What people do is they will set their website so that it will pretend to notify you that you have these kind of viruses in order to sell you software to get rid of them. There is a easy way to get rid of them if they are popping up for you on your computer. And you can Google this later as turn off notifications, and then whatever web browser you're using. So turn off notifications for Chrome, turn off notifications for Firefox. I'll just walk through it really quick with you. So in Firefox, go to the settings. And then if you just type in the search box, notifications, we have that right here. So here it shows me that the site reddit.com is currently in the allowed list for sending me notifications. If that's a site that you are interested in, you can leave that on, and it will, if there's new content, it will pop it up for you automatically. Can be a useful tool. If you've accidentally clicked on one that is less reputable, you can get the virus notification that I showed you earlier. To remove them, you can either just remove all websites from here, or select the one and hit block, and it will stop that from being able to send notifications. That's a little bit higher difficulty, but if you Google what I said earlier, disable notifications, it should be able to walk you through it on your own. Okay. So we did have a question about pre-posed to us about the differences in security between iOS and some other apps like Android, Microsoft. Generally, Apple devices are a little bit more secure because their apps go through a rigorous testing process. They have what's called a walled garden, where all their apps are tested before they're put up. They're made sure that they don't contain viruses. So anything that you get from the App Store should be fairly secure, at least as far as stealing your information or having a virus, that kind of thing. It does tend to limit the availability of apps on the Apple platform, but it is a good compromise if you're using it for general use. One of the features of one of Apple's newest patches is the Ask App Not to Track. It is a good feature. The problem with it is the word ask in the beginning. Not all companies will follow this. As a general rule for being on the internet, never post anything that you don't want the whole world to see. If you are on Facebook and you're posting a picture, all of that will always be saved by them. They're never going to delete it. They will use it for whatever they want. Just keep that in mind as you're using social media and the internet in general. The next thing we wanted to talk about is data collection. Somebody had asked, what do these social media sites gather on you? The answer is generally everything. I don't think I have that one now. TikTok especially gathers your screen size and resolution, everything about the device that you're using it on, any email tied to the account. If you're using Google to log into TikTok, it'll find your Google information, your email, and save all of that. All these apps, especially the free ones, if you're not paying for it, you are the product. So if anything that is free, they are getting something from you generally to be able to sell and make their money. We had another question about quitting Facebook. So Facebook is a very useful tool when used right. You can, if you're done with Facebook, it's absolutely possible to quit. Within Facebook, and you can Google these instructions, just delete Facebook account. I'm just going to quickly show you. So you can check your what you share on Facebook. So if you want to continue using it, that's fine. Within the privacy checkup under your, if you click on your profile and go to settings and privacy, under privacy checkup, you can see what is shared to who within your Facebook account. I would recommend everybody checks this if you're continuing to use Facebook. So on here, I have my email, which only I can see, but friends and friends of friends can see my birth date. My friends list is available to the entire world. And changing that is as easy as clicking on it and picking what you want. If you don't want it shared to anybody, just pick only me, and it won't go out to the rest of the world. Now say you're done with Facebook, you want to get rid of it. Settings and privacy. Settings. They bury it on purpose because it is they don't want you leaving. Personal details, and then account ownership and control, deactivation or deletion. So definitely, if you're interested in that, Google how to do it. It'll walk you through it. In here, they also will have the option, if you pick which account you're doing, to deactivate or delete. Deactivation means that your account's still there, but nobody can add you, nobody can see it. If you're not sure about deleting Facebook yet, this might be the option for you. And you can go in later and delete it if you want. Or you can just delete it and get rid of it completely. What I recommend to people who are trepidatious about getting rid of Facebook is if it's still a tool that you use, and a lot of people do for gatherings, family, those kinds of things, but you don't want the entire world, you don't want your high school class knowing what you're doing this weekend. You can delete your Facebook, make a new one with a different email address, add just your family, and then you can be part of any gatherings and stuff that they set up over Facebook, but not have to worry about everybody in the world seeing your pictures or the like. And the last thing we have is one other very specific thing that somebody asked. Transferring your blocked email list on Outlook. So say you get a new computer or you are trying to use your phone more. Through Outlook, you can export your list by going to Home, Junk email options, and then blocked senders. This will have a list of every blocked sender in your address book that you've already taken care of. By clicking the export to file, it will save it as an Excel file, and then on your new computer, you transfer the file, and you can right above that do import from file. That will allow you to move your blocked emails from one computer to another. Okay, so that is the end of the talk. We'll go into questions and answers. The email address is open. It's techtalks@buckslib.org. And if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email. We will come back in 5 minutes and we'll start answering them. If you're in person, raise your hand and Pete will come around and get your question for you. Okay, we'll be right back.
We are working. We originally were going to because of technical problems, this presentation was.
All right, and we are back. Lots of questions this time. I'm glad there's so much interest. All right, so first, for Firefox Password Manager, when you change your password, does it update or do you have to change it manually? It does update. It gives you the option to update. So if you were to, it knows what site you're on. It knows that it has a saved password for it. If you were to put in a different password or it asks you to change it, there will be in the address bar a little update box saying, this is a new password for the site. Do you want to update your saved password? You hit yes. It will update it automatically for you. Is YouTube collecting information about me every time I use it? Is it as bad as TikTok? Yes, and maybe not as bad, but still pretty bad. As I said, anything that is not charging you to use it, you are the product. So if you're using YouTube, even if you're not signed in, it will collect the information about the videos that you watch, your viewing habits, time of day, IP address that you're connecting from, so which gives them the general location in the world. The the less that you give them, the better, but using these services, you are going to give them some data that they can sell to other companies. TikTok is generally considered worse. They tend to collect more information about you than most other sites. I'm not going to get into politics, but there is a reason it's being looked at being banned from the United States right now. So, how to junk email. So if you, it depends on which app you're using. Generally, if you, on a computer, if you right click on an email, you'll have an option for junk email. You can either make a rule for a specific subject, a specific sender, certain content in the body of the email, anything like that will, you can customize to choose what you would like to automatically be sent to junk mail. For an iPhone, it's a little bit different. You would have to generally hold on the address of the sender, I believe, and it would give you more options to choose to send them to junk email. For your specific device, just you can Google it or ask the buckslib.org/livehelp. They can walk you through any process that you have a question about. Is Virus Alert the same as malware? Not really. In the example that I gave, all that is a notification. It looks like malware. It does not act like malware. There's no infection of your computer. There's no permanent damage from having those notifications pop up. It's just annoying. And if you accidentally click on it, then you can be lured into a site where you're spending money. They're trying to get you to spend money. Malware is generally an infection of your computer where software is installed that will tell your computer to do things that you are not telling it to do. Change passwords, connect to sites on the internet, that kind of thing. If you do not recognize the sender of an email, what is the best course of action? If you have gotten an email and you see that the email does not match who the sender says it is, just delete it. There's no need to keep it, no need to warn anybody. Just go ahead and delete it out of your inbox. Delete it from your deleted items. Get rid of it. If you are unsure or if you click on the email and it seems to be from the correct site, go to that site yourself manually and log in and check your account, make sure everything's okay. A legitimate company will never ask you for your password or any other information about you, either over the phone or through an email. If you get a call from say your bank, they pretending to be your bank, tell them that you'd be happy to talk to them. You'll call them back, hang up, and call your actual bank and see if they were actually reaching out to you. Anytime people solicit you for information, it's always a red flag. Be wary. Can you repeat where on the library site you can go for live help? buckslib.org/livehelp. That is the first step. The librarians in the libraries themselves are more than happy to help you. Stop into buckslib.org/livehelp. I'm going to say it again. Let's see. Does NordVPN hide my IP address? The answer to that is generally yes. However, there are still people who know it's who you are. Anybody at your ISP, at your internet service provider, will still know everything that you're going to, every who it's coming from, because they have to be able to route the information back and forth. Once your internet connection reaches the NordVPN server, that data is generally anonymized, and you don't have to worry about being tracked as much. But keep in mind that you still have to get there, so your data passes through all of those computers on the way there. Is there an app on the iPhone to shred a file instead of deleting it? No. If you delete a file on your phone, it should be gone. Phones, there are some phones that have a recycle bin like Windows does. Generally, you don't have to worry about it. If you delete it, it is gone. If you are super worried about it, you can either Google how to permanently delete a file, or if there's something that that you feel like you've been hacked and your phone is not secure anymore, you can wipe it and restart it. Generally, you'll have to get your provider's help for that. Stop into a Verizon store, tell them what you think happened, and they can walk you through the steps of resetting your phone back to factory settings. That will remove any unwanted access that people might have. I was told by tech in a mobile phone store that it was safe to store passwords and notes on an iPhone. Is this true? Generally, iPhones are as secure as they can be. I don't think you're at any more risk of storing a password in notes versus a password manager, except that it's much less convenient. In notes, you are not, nothing is auto-filled in for you. So if you're in public and you open up a notes file to get a password, who knows who's looking over your shoulder, if there's a camera who can see your phone screen. By having a password manager that fills it in automatically and keeps it hidden, you're avoiding that entirely for somebody peeking over and seeing what you're doing. How is a password manager secure? If it gets hacked, wouldn't all of your passwords be compromised? That is true. And it has happened on rare occasions. The thinking now, anything is going to get hacked. Their websites are being compromised all the time. Personal data is getting out there all the time. The point of a password manager is to reduce the number of ingress points to your information to one. So if you decide, okay, well, I'm not going to use a password manager, I'll just use variations of the same password at every site I go to. If you are compromised on one site, now most of your password is compromised on another site that you use the same email on. I know it feels a little bit backwards, but having that one point of entry into your passwords is generally safer, considered safer now than having passwords written down somewhere or that kind of thing. How does TikTok collect all your information if you only view TikTok content? If you're using the app on a mobile device, installing that app gives them access even if you don't sign into an account, even if you don't create an account. Any app that you install, they have their own coding in there that will allow them to scrape information from your phone, what kind of device you're using, what your email address is, anything that they can reach, they will take and use to sell to other companies. You can get around some of that by using a web browser like Firefox. They have Firefox is generally considered to be a little bit more secure than Chrome or Edge. They have a little bit better security for keeping your stuff private, not allowing companies to scrape data from your computer. Anything that they can get, they're going to. So if you just go and view content, they will at least have your IP address. They'll have what browser you're using. Some stuff is sent just by connecting to them without even signing up for an account. How to get back a hacked account? Will things deleted from that account be recoverable? So most likely anything deleted from an account will probably be gone for you. The company is not going to make an effort generally to recover that data for you. To get your account back generally requires you to send verification to the company in question. I had an account that was hacked not too long ago. I had to take a picture of my driver's license, send it to them in an email, and then they were able to reset my account back and prove that I was the owner of the account. It's different for every company. They check the help on their websites, and they should be able to walk you through that. Not everybody has phone numbers anymore, so you may have to go through a website to be able to find that information. And the last one I have for now, what does it mean when you connect to an unsecure public Wi-Fi network? When connecting to Wi-Fi, generally you want to avoid using things like Starbucks or McDonald's. They offer free internet to get you to stay and spend more money, but it can also be a site for scammers and people who are trying to access your information to sit. And if somebody sets up a fake Wi-Fi with the name of the place you're at, and you connect to that instead, you've now connected your device to their computer, and they can access a lot of your information, whatever you have saved on your machine. Unsecured means just that. So it's not a secure network. It is not protected by wireless security. So if you have your home network has a password to connect to, that protects your devices from anybody else who's trying to connect them. It provides a secure connection between your device and your Wi-Fi router. Unsecured, you're at the whim of anybody else who is connected to that network. We had two more. How do I get either facial recognition or fingerprint reader on my phone? So these things are generally built in. It's not something that you can add on. If you have a device that does not have a facial recognition or a fingerprint reader, you won't be able to use it. So you'll have to upgrade your device to something that has that. In your phone, there is let's see if I can bring it up real quick. In your phone, if you go into what is it? Face ID and passcode, which is right now at the very bottom there. You'll be required to put in your passcode. In there will allow you to set up Face ID, which just involves them scanning your face, and then they use that to recognize you to log you into your phone. It's the same thing with an Android phone. If you have an Android, go into security biometrics, and you can set up your fingerprints in there. Every phone is different, so either read your manual, check online. Generally, you can find how things work. Older phones, they used to have the fingerprint reader on the back of it, so you could touch it on the back. Newer ones, they have it in the glass on the screen. So it varies from device to device. Am I hacked if I send an email and the sending address shows an address different from mine? No, I think I would have to have a specific for that. If you bring your device in for the live help, we'll take a look. If you have multiple emails set up to allow sending from, that could be what that's set up for. I'd have to see that one. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think we got one more, and then we'll call it a day. Why do people use unsecured networks if they are not safe? Convenience. People want to be at a coffee shop. They want to get coffee. They want to relax, listen to music, and they have their machine with them. They want to connect to Facebook or watch funny videos on YouTube and connect to unsecure Wi-Fi. It does have its place. Just be very careful when you use it if you choose to use it. Okay. All right. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. The next Tech Talk will be next month, June. What did I say? 21st. Thank you. At 2 p.m. on iPad and iPhone Basics. If you'd like to watch this again, it will be on our website about a week. We'll have the recording up there. Thanks everybody for coming. Have a nice day.